Longtime girlfriend cheated and didn't tell me for a year. My girlfriend, of 4 years is in her out-of-state graduate program. We live together in the city where we met, so we both moved for her schooling, which would be a year in another state starting in late 2023. My job is remote, so I was able to swing it. Her schooling was tough. She would leave at 6 a.m. and return at 9 p.m., would barely eat and have no time for herself. This caused a pretty big divide between us since we weren't able to spend quality time together. Late 2023, the quality time I did get was spent asking about how she's doing and the new people she's met. One of these people is named P, less than or equal to 30M. He is married with children. Throughout the following weeks I start to notice her constantly messaging P. Not that big of a deal, but it was weird that she was constantly messaging him in particular. I met P around this time. I was out of town and I was informed that my girlfriend was out with her classmates. P got handsy with women at the bar. My girlfriend was also pulled aside alone by P and told that he has cheated on his wife 3 times and he hasn't told her. This set off my alarm and I informed my girlfriend of my concern that no man would just say that to someone with no remorse and in private without a motive. I didn't want to be controlling, so I politely asked that she try and limit one-on-one non-school related contact with P, or at least let me know if he's going to be around and keep communication open. She says she was completely okay with that deal. Through slip-ups in speech of her or her friends I discover that she has gone to lunch one-on-one with P and been to his house after class multiple times with no mention to me despite our conversation. I confront her about this multiple times, trying not to be overbearing, but it felt like a direct counter to my trust in her. Early 2024, I am out of town and get a notification that someone is at the door. I open the notification and see a video of P walking into my home. I text my girlfriend and she lies about the situation, saying she's home alone. I get home and we have a huge fight where she makes up stories that contradict the video evidence. She eventually settled on that she invited him over to play with our dog. I cannot prove this wrong, so I go with it, but let her know that he is not to enter my home without me there, and if he does, there will be problems. Present day September 2024, since this time, we have been better than ever. She was finishing up her year of school and getting excited. We suddenly had so much more quality time and it was like night and day for our relationship. Her language when talking about P shifted to a more negative tone. I might be naive, but I thought making it through such a rough time and coming out the other side okay meant that we could tackle almost anything. This is the kind of woman I want to be with. We talked about marriage, asking her parents' blessing, and been to a ring store. We are not back in the city where we met, far from her school and P. I woke up Sunday, made some coffee and sat at my desk. My girlfriend sits across the room from me and starts crying, saying that she's so sorry. She admits to me that she had sex with P in November 2023. I couldn't believe it and I demanded more details. He approached her at their schoolhouse late one night and started talking about his unhappiness with his wife and asked my girlfriend about our relationship. He said something along the lines of, "I brought this up to you before, but I've cheated 3 times and it actually made my marriage better. I was able to see things that I couldn't before. I'm here if you ever want to do something like that." He opened the door, and she walked right in. I pack a bag and leave. I write notes to myself to articulate how I'm feeling and decided that ending things is the best option. I come back to the house and let her know that we're over and tell her about what I'm feeling. She tries to argue, but her words fall flat and she doesn't really take responsibility for what she's done. I prod and ask if it was just once, and it wasn't. They did it several times. She is staying with her parents this week. After following her to another state, taking care of our pets and home while she was in school, being her anchor when things got rough for her, and signing a new lease after it all, I was met with this. I'm filled with sadness and anger. I keep playing out the cheating on repeat in my head. I'm not really sure what to do with myself. She is trying to work things out and stay together, and I can't help but picture the memories we have and the culture we've built between us. Am I making the right decision? Should I contact P or his wife? Edit, wow, this has really blown up. I found this sub this morning when I woke up in total sadness and turned to the internet for advice. I just want you all to know that I appreciate every one of your responses, whether it's advice or encouragement. Thank you for helping me through this. The most important step a man can take is the next one. Always the next one. Update. What I'm doing, I am now about 3 weeks since D-Day. I have been doing my best to take care of myself. I have gone mostly no contact with the exception of apartment and pet-related conversations. I am fully moved into a new place in my own. I have received several "hello, I'm so sorry and you may not believe me but I will always love you" texts. I will be saying goodbye to one of my pets that she'll be taking here in a few days. I'm planning on that being the last time I see her as well. How I'm doing, there are a few things that have been on my mind the most. As with most of the stories here, I am able to see the red flags of my relationship in my 2020 hindsight. What she did is manipulative and abusive. I understand that I deserve better and I understand that she can't be in my life anymore. That being said, lately I've had the urge to see her in as much emotional pain as I am. I think I took it too easy on D-Day due to the shock and I want to tell her how disgusted I am with her. I want to make her understand how I feel. The thing is, I don't think she's capable of understanding. Someone who is capable of what she has done is truly missing a piece of themselves. As a result, I spend my days involuntarily frustrated. I've also been unable to stop myself from picturing her and the AP in the act. It happens pretty much every day and it makes my skin crawl. I don't consider myself an angry person by any means, but I think these factors have made me very irritable lately. I'll catch myself being upset over nothing, or if something comes up that reminds me of her I immediately start boiling. Moving forward, does anyone have advice on dealing with anger or my intrusive thoughts of the cheating/self-doubt? Is my anger something I should express to my ex or the AP, or are there better ways to deal with it? I know I'm relatively young, but I've had thoughts that my baggage is too great and that it'll get in the way of my future relationships. Thoughts like, will I be able to be intimate with someone new without picturing them together? Will I be able to meet someone that can love me unconditionally? Again, I'd like to thank everyone who reached out with kind words and advice. Edit, I forgot to add that I have made contact with AP's wife. In my efforts to find her number, my ex caught wind of what I was doing and apparently called AP's wife to come clean. When I made contact myself, the messaging was very odd and defensive. I got the feeling that she feels like she's stuck and that there isn't much to be done on her end. She asked me not to contact her.